Yo, what's up, guys? I hope this video finds you doing well. So, recently, the Queen of Christmas, aka Mariah Carey, just released a new song, and it is called Type Dangerous. And for me, at least, it kind of came out of nowhere. And I listened to it 5, 6 times to get an idea of what it sounds like and everything. And I have to say that I am a very big fan of Mariah Carey. I know a lot of her music, I know a lot of her albums, I know what she's capable of. And for me personally, this song, it doesn't really hit, but I will get more into that later. First, I want to talk about the fact that I saw on a Mariah Carey fan account on X. I don't know how accurate this is because it is a fan account, but it says Mariah Carey's Type Dangerous is aiming to debut inside the Billboard Hot 100's top 50 based on early predictions. This will mark her first entry since Oh Santa in 2020. So, if this is true, I first want to say congratulations to Mariah Carey because personally, I hate it when older acts are kind of seen as unable to chart or nobody puts as much interest into their music. I hate this idea that just because, you're an older artist, say like over the age of 45 to in your 50s or 60s and up, right? It's this idea that like, oh, your time has passed, like you can't chart anymore. And especially among, I guess, certain acts from like the 80s and 90s is that it's this belief where it's like, oh, your heyday is behind you. And like that probably is true to some extent. But at the same time, it's always a good thing when I would say an artist who's considered older, quote unquote, is able to have a chart hit. So hopefully that this ends up being true and it goes top 50. So with that being said, I also found an article that was titled How Former Apple Music Mastermind Larry Jackson Signed Mariah Carey to His $400 million Startup. So first of all, the queen is looking beautiful and effervescent as ever. And he just looks evil to me. I don't know why. Something about his beady eyes, but he kind of looks evil. Anyway, this article is interesting because I was wondering how this song came together and like what was kind of the story behind it. And this article basically summed it up. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So the article says, around midnight, the day after Halloween, Mariah Carey was sitting in the lavish Bel Air Oh man. So it says, one second. Here it is. Around midnight, the day after Halloween, Mariah Carey was sitting in the lavish Bel Air mansion of music producer Antonio L.A. Reid. The 56-year-old Carey may be one of the top-selling recording artists of all time, with 5 Grammy Awards and 19 #1 hits, but she still solicits the opinion of Reid, a friend of more than 20 years and the man who shaped the careers of Usher, TLC, Pink, and other artists as the chairman of Epic, Arista, and Island Def Jam record labels. Also in the attendance was Larry Jackson, the 44-year-old CEO of the 2-year-old music startup Gamma. As Carey played tracks from her upcoming 16th album, that's crazy, bro. Her career is so long. She's on album 16. Man, that's crazy. Anyway, Jackson, who has been in the business for more than 30 years, was awestruck by the moment. Why am I in this room? He recalls thinking. But as Carey told him, I know who you are, I know what you've done, and I think you're the right person to take me to new heights. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Larry Jackson, he is one of the co-founders of the media group Gamma, Gamma. And Gamma isn't exactly a record label. It's more so like an internet media company that specializes in promotion and making whatever media venture that the people signed to their company have go viral. He is responsible for Sexy Red. So we have him to thank for Sexy Red. I don't know how you feel about that. But obviously, he kind of knows what he's doing, obviously, because Sexy Red has been arguably probably the top 3 most popular female rapper of like the past 2 years, and she's been dominating in the media. Things have kind of slowed down for her a little bit, but they know what they're doing. If they're able to push somebody like a Sexy Red to being a household name amongst certain demographics, let's say that, then he probably would know what to do with somebody like Mariah Carey, an established legend. So what was interesting about this article, I have to find it. Let me find it. One second. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay. With the midnight release of Carey's new single, Type Dangerous, the ultimate challenge begins. Among the heights Carey wants to reach is having a 20th number one single, which would tie her with the Beatles, and then a 21st. It's the musical equivalent of LeBron James breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA all-time scoring record, and Carey is counting on Jackson to put her on top of music's Mount Olympus. Honestly, I would love to see Mariah Carey hold a record for most number ones of all time. I just think that she's deserving of that personally, as a very big fan of her. Um, and I think it would be even bigger of achievement as a woman who is in her mid 50s achieving that act. Because, unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of women in the music industry, once you hit like your mid 30s, you're considered old and outdated and whatnot, which is just messed up. So I would love to see her get her 20th number one. I I have my fingers crossed. I don't know if that would actually happen, but I would love to see it. The thing is, I don't know if she would actually be able to do that without a feature. Like, I think it would have to be her featured on somebody's song or somebody featured on her song. Like, Mariah Carey featuring Bruno Mars would absolutely go number one. Bruno Mars featuring Mariah Carey will go number one. So if you care about Mariah Carey getting her 20th and 21st number one, let me know what kind of song or feature acts or her featured on somebody else's song, like what it would take for her to get that 20th or 20th number one. So with that being said, yes, this guy is basically behind. She's not like, it's not a record deal for her 16th album, but it's more so a media partnership. And so far, it really seems to be working because, as you saw by this, it says it's aiming to debut inside the Hot 100's top 50 based on early predictions. So obviously, the media company already knows, is already putting its magic to work, and it even says this. One second, let me find it. Six. Okay, it says the teaser video for Type Dangerous. Side note, this Larry Jackson guy also studied in the school of Clive Davis. You know who else studied in the school of Clive Davis? Diddy. Look, I'm not trying to say anything, but people who study under this man, I'd be squinting like, okay. But anyway, it says the teaser video for Type Dangerous, Jackson says, had more than 6 million views, and that's just between Instagram and X. He sees that as a healthy sign there's pent-up demand for a new Carey album. Only this time, Gamma can control its own algorithm with the help of Apple to make sure Carey gets maximum exposure. She's been a part of the machine for her entire career. So that's interesting. It says Gamma can control its own algorithm with the help of Apple. So is this like the new age payola? Like, you just call Apple to push the button on Apple Music and then you're number one on the playlist and everything? I don't know. But I want to move on to some of my, one second. I want to move on to some of my thoughts about the song. So when the song dropped, as a Mariah Carey fan, I know what she's capable of. That pen, let me tell you something about Mariah Carey's pen. It's honestly unmatched. I think Mariah Carey probably might be top 5 greatest pop songwriters of all time. You could argue with me if you want, but that's just how I feel. So when I saw it, I saw the teaser first, and I was like, okay, she's serving youth, she's serving body, she's serving face. So I listened to the song, and the first time that I listened to it, I was very disappointed. Just in the sense of like, Mariah Carey's a legend, and she does not have it in her to write a bad song. So a song's not bad. If anybody else was saying it who was 20 years younger, I'd probably be like, oh, this is cool. And with Mariah Carey, it's cool, but I think it's just because, as somebody who knows her discography and knows what she's capable of lyrically, vocally, harmonically, all the things music-wise, it just kind of fell flat for me. So one of the things with the lyrics is, Mariah Carey is just talking. Basically, this is a song where Mariah Carey is talking her ish, and she has other songs like that. But one of the lyrics was, she says 3 hating assholes, and I was like, I never thought that I would hear lyrics like that coming out of Mariah Carey's mouth. Like, it kind of was weird. It's like, wait, what? Like, Mariah Carey really just said, hating assholes. Like, okay. And then also in the song, she also shades her first husband, the evil Tommy Mottola, who basically, if you don't know that story, had her locked up in that house for years. She was a prisoner in her house. If you don't know the story of Tommy Mottola and Mariah Carey, please look it up. I might do a video on that because it's actually crazy how guarded and under security she was for like the first 7 years of her career. But with that being said, I kind of could see why the song would appeal to Gen Z. Like, it's more of like the talk singing kind of thing that's really popular when it comes to, I guess, all music these days, right? And lyrics like three hating ass hoes. Like, I don't think that's gonna appeal to her 40 and 50-year-old fan base. Definitely a younger demographic, which is not a bad thing. I'm gonna start this over. Which is not a bad thing at all. It's always a good thing to pull in newer fans. And I think when it comes to Gen Z Mariah Carey, like, they know her for Christmas. Side note, this is making me think that I need to make a video about like all the things that Gen Z doesn't know about Mariah Carey, because I feel like her influence and impact just really is not really known by Gen Z outside of, what I want. All I want for Christmas is you, which is great, but like compared to what Mariah Carey is capable of song wise and just impact wise, like, they really don't know. But the other issue that I had with the song was, for me, the vocal performance. Um, Mariah Carey is still very talented. She'll always be talented vocally, but it's not 1997 anymore, where the vocal acrobatics and the vocal just powerhouse moments are happening like that. Not to say she can't sing, she still can, but they're not happening like that as much. And I guess for me, I understand that that's perfectly fine. But I think my biggest issue with the song vocally was the fact that she just sounded very lethargic on it, like very not into it. Like, somebody said that her vocals sound like AI. And when they said that, I actually agreed. I was like, wait a minute, like, are these actually AI Mariah Carey vocals? Because it's like, it sounds like her, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. And I'm wondering if she just, like, her heart's not in it right now, or if like this actually is AI. Because I feel like when it comes to AI and artists, we're probably going to see more artists starting to utilize AI. And I wouldn't be surprised if certain artists are kind of like testing it out to see like people's reaction, and people can tell the difference. But yeah, this actually has inspired me to want to make a video about like Mariah Carey's like most well-written, like, poetic songs, because I could really talk about that forever, about like Mariah Carey's like best songs, like best written songs. Like, because when it comes to her pen, bro, like, it's really unmatched. Like, she probably is, she's just honestly one of the best pop poets. Like, she's a pop poet, like, top tier. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the song. I'm curious to know what you guys think. And I wonder if I'm going to get dragged for what I said, even though, I consider myself to be a lamb. I listen to Mariah Carey like every single week, like constantly. Well, often, I should say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.